Welcome to the Solopreneur Movement. My name is Dr. Bruce Lund. I'm the founder and director of the Solopreneur Movement and the 90-Day Sales Manager Coaching Program. And every single week, I like to come into your life to give you some kind of motivation, some kind of inspiration, some kind of content that I really think will move the needle, whether it's personally or professionally within your business. So this week, we're going to break down the Friday 4. Welcome to the Friday 4. Today I want to break down, there are 4 activities that I think you should get done to complete to go into the weekend. And I like to do these by noon every single week because at the end of the day, it's not always how we start, it's how we finish, right? A lot of people get started, but they don't finish the week strong, right? They limp across the finish line. Not us, not you, right? Not anybody who's really all in on our 90-day sales plan and selling system. So the Friday 4, as I break these down, is I want you really thinking about how you do anything in life is how you do everything in life. So again, if you start strong, like that's great, but if you're limping across the finish line, if you're not truly going the distance, if you're not doing the heavy lifting required to be successful, then how you do anything is how you do everything. So momentum is just energy that is moving in one direction or another. It's either moving in a positive direction, which is where we want it to get going, right? It's like a compound effect. We want that 1% ball to keep rolling and get 1% better every single day, all right? Otherwise, it's moving in the opposite direction. And I don't know if you've ever tried to swim upstream. You know, it is incredibly difficult. You know, we want you swimming downstream with the current versus upstream. It's incredibly difficult. I grew up on a river. Trust me, I know that is not a fun position to be in. So my whole thing is I want you to get and keep momentum going in the right direction. So every single Friday, there are 4 things. Basically 2 things are related to the previous week, right? Looking at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going into the week. And then there are 2 things that I want you to look at going into the next week, right? So one is really an evaluation of the previous week. And the first activity is the weekly vision board. I want you going back through and looking at your weekly vision board. For those of you who are newer to the program or to my coaching, is I do believe that if you can spend 30 minutes every single week visioneering your week, looking at the different activities and the different people that you want to proactively talk to, I like to have 50 people going into the week that I'm proactively targeting. And I have that tied to my selling system, okay? So that's one activity is I look back through my previous Sunday's vision board and I say, is there anybody on this list that I haven't talked to yet, that I haven't proactively targeted or talked to? And then I'll go through and I'll start bumping them. I might send a text. I might make a phone call. I might send an email. I might touch them on social media, right? So that's one activity, is looking back through my previous week's vision board. The second activity then, doing the evaluation, were there any new leads that came in, right? Did any of my referral partners, my connectors, my past clients, my new clients, were there any new leads that came in that I've proactively reached out to, but they haven't responded yet? And so a lot of times then I'll do that on Fridays. Why do I do that on Fridays? People are typically in a good mood on Fridays, right? So what a better way than going into the weekend than to reach out to these different people and say, hey, I need to connect with you. So those are the 2 previous week's activities I like to do. And if you want to add on to that, you know, I like to close files. What I mean by that is I don't like to have open file syndrome. So are there any tasks that I can complete that need to get done that will kind of free me up to think big about the weekend, all right? Because for me on Saturdays, I like to get in a creative space. That's typically when I do videos like these and stuff like that, right? So if I have open file syndrome or I have a bunch of different tasks and things that I haven't gotten done, then sometimes I will look at those as well, all right? But when it comes to preparing for the next week ahead, there are 2 activities that I like to do going into the next week. Number 1 is meeting excitement. I look ahead to the different appointments that I already have preset on my calendar. And these are not like confirming appointments. I don't want you to think of it that way. This is more hyping up that meeting, right? The last thing that we want to do is give permission to people to cancel a meeting that they already have scheduled with you. All right, so for me, it's more about hyping up that meeting. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to meet you finally. And we're going to talk about X, Y, Z, and we're going to help you go play at a different level, or I'm going to help you, really alleviate whatever this pain point is for you, right? So I kind of hype up the meeting going into the next week. And then the last thing I like to do going into the next week is, are there any events that I need to leverage? So I like to do 3 different types of events, showcase events, I call them, in our selling system, our marketing system. Number one are advocate events, right? Are there any little mini advocate events that you're planning for the next week? Do the things that you enjoy with the people who matter, right? So maybe you're going to go watch a ball game. Those are things that I enjoy doing. Maybe you're going to go for a hike, whatever it might be. There's an upcoming event next week that you're going to do. And have you really leveraged that event to its fullest? Have you invited the right people to that event, right? That kind of a thing. There could be networking events that you're attending, and maybe you want to invite other people to attend those events. Maybe there's a speaking showcase event that you're doing where you get in front of a captive audience of people and you get to showcase your talents. And are you properly marketed for that event? Have you sent out the invites? All those kinds of things. So that's the Friday 4. It's simple on paper, but it's not going to be easy. And if you can proactively do this by noon, then I'm giving you permission to go do the things that you really enjoy with the people who matter the most. So this Friday 4 is one of those little 2.2 millimeters of change that can make a drastic change or increase in your productivity and your production within your business.